Okay, in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you how to do Guardian Druid damage. There are two things you need to know. The first one is obvious, and the second one is a fundamental mistake that I see many Guardian Druids make, and it's why their damage looks low in keys. People are going to ask me, what talents are you using for this experiment? The truth is, talents don't really matter. Whether or not you play Rage of the Sleeper or 1 point in Flashing Claws, honestly, this is not why your damage is high or low. People are going to ask me, what item level are you? Are you super geared? I'm pretty geared, but I'm not that geared. I've been sick for a few weeks. I've fallen behind. I have 180 Gilded Crest to spend. I am not that geared. So it's not about gear and it's not about talents. What is it, ooh? There are two things you need to know. Number one is your rotation during incarn is very important. During incarn, you have your big damage cooldown. I'm going to show you in a second, but right before we get started, what you need to understand is you do not hit Moonfire during incarn. You do not hit Swipe for sure during incarn. During incarn, you are Lunar Beam Prio and Mangle Thrash Ironfur. You want to get as many Mangle Thrash Ironfurs as you can during your incarn window. That's the obvious one, though. That's the rotational difference. You can learn a rotation, but this is the real pitfall I see Guardian Druids make. I'm going to start this key, and I'm going to show you, okay? I'm going to walk into the first pull here, and I'm going to solo this on a 16. Are you ready? So 3, 2, 1, you hit incarn before the key starts. This is not going to be my usual style. I'm going to get right to the points because I need Guardian Druids to understand what they're doing wrong and how to do massive damage. We need to dispel the myth that Guardian Druid doesn't do damage. For the sake of my own solo experiment, I'm going to be going fast. The main thing, I will not hit my damaging cooldowns until the pack is actually gathered. So until I am ready, nothing, only Barkskin, only Barkskin, only Barkskin. When the pack is actually grouped, now I can hit all 3 of my damaging cooldowns, including a damage pot. Now I can do it, not before. This is the #1 mistakes that Guardian Druids make. And remember, during this cooldown window, during this incarn, Mangle Thrash, Ironfur. Frenzied Regen only when I need to. Obviously, I'm soloing this on a 16, so I'm going to need to hit Frenzied Regen, but otherwise, Mangle, Thrash, Ironfur. Mangle, Thrash, Ironfur. Take a look at the damage meters for me, and let me ask you a question, okay? Is my damage low? Am I going to perish here? Of course, I'm going to perish. This is 16. But what was the damage that I did? Out of curiosity, right before I die, what's my damage at? I'm going to let myself die now. 10 million. That's pretty decent. That's pretty decent. How did I do 10 million damage? I stuck with my rotation. Thrash, Mangle, Ironfur. My rotation was down here the entire time. You can go back and look. If you do that every single incarn, you are going to do damage as a Guardian Druid. But that isn't the key. The key was how I sequenced my Lunar Beam, my Rage of the Sleeper, and my incarn. I did not pop it early. If I walk up to these guys, and I am trying to get to that pack right over there, and I pop my incarn when I'm midway, I have lost about 5 or 10 seconds of my incarn uptime when these guys actually walk in. It's the same with any dungeon, first pull of Priory, first pull of Floodgate, first pull of anything. You do not press Lunar Beam, Rage of the Sleeper, or incarn until you actually have grouped the pack, including your trinket if you are using a trinket like Cursed Stone Idol. You do not press these buttons until everything is actually grouped, because otherwise you're losing uptime. And as an example, I'm going to show you, and I'm going to walk in and I'm going to show you. I can hit Barkskin. Let's say I need to gather this. That's fine. I'm going to gather these. But I will not hit my other cooldowns until I actually need them. So these guys haven't grouped on me yet. They haven't grouped on me yet. I'm going to walk in here. Now, when things are actually grouped, and obviously to live here, I'm going to need to hit it a little early. That's fine. I am soloing this. This is a 16. Now I can hit incarn, and I'm set. But look at my uptime during this window, okay? I can hit my trinket, boom. Look at my uptime. And again, I can replicate the same damage. I can replicate my damage. This isn't going to be perfect, and I'm going to let myself die now. That's fine. But what I want to show you is your cooldown timing is everything as a Guardian Druid. If you're willy-nilly sending Lunar Beam when you're over here just to get settled into this pull, you're not actually going to have the Lunar Beam when you get to this pull. If you're sending your Rage of the Sleeper way early, then you might as well be playing Flashing Claws. If you want to play, this is my safe build, quote-unquote, but it also does massive damage. You're going to be able to replicate big numbers no matter what you do, no matter how you pull, as long as you understand the sequence to the abilities. I am not going to hit my offensive abilities before the pack actually settles. This is the biggest tip I can give. I got plenty of other tips, but at the very least, I wanted to get this one out there because I see so many Guardian Druids hit incarn when they're walking through these guys, or if they're trying to set up a pole, they're trying to go over here, and they'll basically walk past this, and they'll be like, Lunar Beam. But then they've wasted their Lunar Beam. And now as I go approach this pole, I don't have my Lunar Beam. I didn't need to, though, because these guys weren't going to melee me. The only defensive that isn't an offensive as a Guardian Druid is Barkskin. So let's say I want to gather this pole. I'm still not going to hit my Rage of the Sleeper until I actually need to. Let's say I want to go all the way over here. I'm going to try to hold as long as possible. I would even hit SI before everything else just to gather this, and then I'll be here with my cooldowns. Now I've hit my Rage, now I've hit my Lunar, and I'd be able to do damage. So I'll go into my rotation. Moonfire to fill, Thrash, Mangle, Iron Fur. Obviously, I'm going to perish here. It's a 16. But does that make sense? I had to hold until everything actually grouped on me. And that's how I'm going to manage to actually do damage throughout the run. Every single pull I'm thinking, can I hold my Lunar Beam and my Rage of the Sleeper and my Incarn if I have it until the pack actually settles? So this is the biggest tip. I don't see anyone talking about this. I don't see anybody doing it. This is the biggest tip I can give you for Guardian Druid damage, aside from obviously not missing Mangle Cast, not missing Thrash Cast, and not over swiping, obviously. Take Swipe off your bars, take Maul off your bars. You'll do a lot more damage that way. This is only for Elune's Chosen. This is not for Druid of the Claw. Druid of the Claw is way more complicated and nuanced. But for now, most people are playing Elune's Chosen. I want you to try this in your next key and tell me how it goes. I will be streaming every day. I play Guardian Druid. If you want to come hang out with me and watch me play live, you're more than welcome to, because I'm on a mission to dispel the myth that Guardian Druid does not do damage. I would like to dispel this myth very much, and please take Guardian Druid to your next key. I promise you it's not a bad tank. It's actually really good. Okay, thank you. Bye.